Welcome back, everyone, to my Age of Wonders 3 Draconian Necromancer series, where I give my opponents a 20-turn head start, 5 allied Emperor level opponents. So, we're in turn 56, and this is episode 11. And during turn 55, we had our first big clash with the enemy AI. You may recall last episode that they attacked a few of my units and steamrolled them with a double stack. This time I brought the party to them. So we're going to take a look at that. I think it was this one. Nope, not that one. It was shortly after, it was during turn 55. This one. Yeah. So this was, I believe they attacked before the start of my turn. Yeah, so they initiated this battle. And so it's my level 15 hero who thankfully has greater life drain because of we took the lifesteal ability plus this life drain, so it puts up to the 4th level, the highest, which is super essential. Really high defense and fire aura, physical protection on top of it. You can see my resistances there. Yeah, +4 defense there, and blinding aura too. So between the fire aura and the blinding aura, people who attacked him had a pretty good chance of having some debuff applied to them. So pretty good guy to absorb some pain. I had a pretty unleveled King Dual Shock Serpent. I had a Shock Trooper that I lost, unfortunately. This guy continues to coast. I lost a Yeti, that's fine. I lost a Big Beetle, that's fine. Neither of them were levels. I was sad to lose this Champion 3 Banshee. That sucked. But thankfully I held on to my Lord of the Deep, which is arguably more important. I was able to hold on to my Dread Spider Queen and my Champion 3 level Reanimator. And so I was facing 3 stacks with 1, 2 heroes, though, I mean, level 5, level 7 compared to my level 15. And mostly tier 2s. They had some tier 3 Sphinx, tier 3 Shadow Stalker, Sphinx. So they have plenty of fire damage, and it really would have been good of me to have switched and given myself some fire protection for this battle. I had no fire protection. They were doing a lot of fire damage, so that was something I was irritated with myself about, having not switched those items up before the turn. But let's check it out. So you can see I saw this formation here, a lot of good choke point action, so I was going to try and take advantage of that and try and take on these guys first and have these guys at the bottom. That's annoying, I just thought. Have these guys at the bottom arrive later so that hopefully I can take out some of these before these guys arrive. Although several of them are pretty fast, being Tigrants. So we're moving in. So getting my meaty defender units up here. Cadaver. And I cast Chant upon Life to help raise some cadavers. They were not able to disjunct it. Animal Slayer is painful. Wow. That was pretty unfortunate. Keeping my hero in the back for now, just because I don't mind losing some of these other units, but I would really hate it if my leader fell. Because Undying will bring them back after 2 turns, assuming an enemy's not standing on where you died, which happens a lot, so you can't guarantee that they'll come back up during the battle. But if you go down, what will happen is that you can no longer cast a bunch of your spells. So once you've died, you won't be able to do greater or lesser reanimate undead, for example. And that's very painful, because then you can't raise up some of your valuable units. So you're incentivized to keep that hero alive, despite the fact that he can oftentimes pretty effectively tank, which we will see some. So just trying to hold the line. Whole arm versus flying units. Yep. They do successfully disjoint it, which is unfortunate, so I no longer will raise a cadaver out of every dead unit on the battlefield once per turn. So, Shock Trooper is on its way down, fortunately. Animal Slayer. The hero's coming in, really wanting to keep my Shock Serpent alive. It's unfortunate that they're pairing them up, because my Shock Serpent's greatest strength is stunning people, but you can't stun incorporeal units, unfortunately. So a little flanking action. Flanking again. And it's gold ranked, so they're decent. Getting my heroes up here. You can see the lifesteal is doing work. Just getting up in his face there, but wanting to get some extra DPS with that. Unfortunately, he does disjunct it, but hopefully it saved him from casting something else. Baby spider's going down, that's fine. Don't mind that at all. Thankfully, with that damage, that hurl boulder isn't doing very much. Not much damage on the King Shock. That's critical hit was painful. That does very little, fortunately. So let's see. So yeah, they got in some good flanking hits. So this guy was willing to take 2 attacks of opportunity for the King Shock Serpent in order to go for the hero, which then allowed the Tyrants on guard against a mounted unit to do some serious damage. So I was a little concerned about that. Take out the Sphinx. Take him out, which is important. Lifesteal doing work. So the defense is really working well. Healing him, because I really want to keep him alive. It's a priority. And then just getting him up in the fray to make their lives miserable. Skin and oils, a little more susceptible now. No damage, really. Can attack him all day. So, I mean, a lot of small chip damage, but thankfully he started with a lot of health. Thankfully he resisted that throw net. That could have been bad. So I taken that out. Stunned that guy, which was convenient. Alright. Clearing him out of the background. Flank attacking here. Unfortunately he got double lucky, which did not help him survive. This guy took him down. Bring this guy in, which is perfect against mounted. He transforms, jumps, which is annoying. Animal Slayer, he's getting pretty low with that. And that happened now. I know I'm going to want to prioritize him for this greater reanimate undead. So because he didn't have to go down to undying and then not have access to this, it's still available and I can raise that Ghoul Shock, but raising the Banshee, the Banshee, I was not able to pull off. So let's see. So he's engaging the Dire Panther. Moving these guys up here. Taking him out there, gaining a little bit of health. He goes down. No problem, he can take the hits. Very minor damage. Very minor damage. So he doesn't mind taking the flanking attack to get in the way of these folks. I did invoke death on the adventurer, which was convenient. So took him out. So I decided to use lesser reanimate undead on this guy rather than the Banshee, just because I value this reanimator so much, because I think it's champion 3 and it is a really core part of my army. So I did prioritize them over the Banshee. Sending him in, that's fine. Got him up with the greater, so I saved the most important stuff. Get some heals off. So I would say it was a pretty decent outcome, all things considered. So we're clearing out these guys. We're seeing more baddies come in, but they're generally lower level. And the guy's only level 5, so with my remaining army of key units, should be able to handle them with some smart play and an extra unit there. So just trying to place down some fortresses here and there. Continue to produce Lords of the Deep every turn, prioritizing that with the gold. With this unit, trying to get another Ghoul Shock Serpent leveled up, but I came across the sea here. Poking around here with this army. This guy, did I? Yeah, so greater life drain because I summoned him here, which I'm building the men here of fire so I can do the fire giants, but I summoned, I put whatchamacallit, Embrace Darkness to give the extra level, so they go from just life drain to greater life drain, which makes them extremely tanky versus most fleshy opponents. So, in underground, let's see, clearing out up here with these stacks, led by that guy, and these guys continue to go this way, paired Dread Reaper with some of those units. Lots of excellent support and healing there. So, what do we need to see? That's all the same. Mostly producing merchandise because my upkeep is so crazy expensive. But pumping these lords out, going to be pumping out fire. Still some reanimators and some basic shrines or observatories, but in some cities that are promising for eventually getting palaces of the perished in, because I do want to be able to bump up the casting points eventually. Because the key markers, as I talk about in the guide, for being able to summon these guys, which I believe take 260, the 260. So 90 times 3 is 270. So you can summon them in 3 turns. The next best one, you'd have to get 130 casting points to be able to summon them in 2 turns. So that's just another 40 points, and so it'll take a few palaces of the perished to achieve that. So I'm thinking about what cities I can do that in, and I have been. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about? yeah, so there's a few cities where I'm going to they have good production, so I'm prioritizing them for Palaces of the Perished. And quick look at some of my stacks. So independent flyer stack that has floating heal and floating heal to keep everybody good to go. And I'm trying to get some Dread Reapers sprinkled in some of these armies. So these are basically my main stacks, and then the rest of these are floating around. But you can see I'm starting to get a lot of Lords of the Deep on the map. And yeah, 1, 2. So let's see, two Dread Reapers in rotation currently for me. So that's where we're at, that big battle. I think for most of the rest of these videos, I'm going to keep them pretty brief and mostly focused on key battles because I think in terms of the kind of lessons I'm trying to convey in this video, that's the big battles are what I want to focus on. Most of the other stuff, independent battles, aren't worth spending time on. Shuffling around some items, but we'll talk about that in a bit, trying to achieve some optimal itemage for folks. So this has been episode 11, and I'll see you in episode 12. Thanks a lot.